Welcome, everybody, to yet another adventure with Team Adventurous.
Yes.
Mason, what was your town called?
Morton.
We were just giving Mason shit because he accidentally named his town Death Town, but then he informed us, no, guys, it has 2 O's.
Yes.
And as we figured out, 1 O is death, 2 O is ice cream.
Yes.
But boats are moored there, and therefore it's Moor Town. Morton.
Right. Yes.
But now you've pointed that out, and it's going to go round and round in my brain until I change the fucking name of the town.
No! No. Also, with it being MOOR ton, then, it could also imply that it was a town that was surrounded by moors.
Yes, that also could be the case, yeah.
All right, so.
Yeah.
Today, I thought we'd spike Mason's blood pressure. So the first thing I have queued up here is Andrew Tate versus Piers Morgan, the full interview.
Why are you doing this to me? We're supposed to be friends, you utter wanker. Jesus, so I'm gonna go and find the most annoying ultra left wing person and just make you watch a video. I fucking hate you.
I'm not actually gonna make you listen to that, bro. This is bullshit. This is bullshit Wednesday, not politics Saturday.
Right. Yeah. But your reaction
I'm
was
actually relieved.
What's great about that is you can actually hear it.
I know. He actually thought I was serious for a second.
He's like, damn it! No!
He's like, why act this way?
Why do I bother spending time with this man? I dropped my vape in outrage.
Oh, no.
I've never made someone specifically drop their vape, but I've made some people drop their panties in outrage.
What? I'm so outraged right now. I want to fuck you.
Yeah.
How dare you suggest that the government should be smaller? Come here. Oh, political differences turn me on.
Nice.
Gosh.
Oh, man. Hey, Caitlin, remind me after the stream I got to water Bushy.
Okay.
That sounds like a euphemism.
I didn't even think about the fact that definitely 100% sounds sexual before I said it. No, I swear I have a little bonsai tree that I named Bushy.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez.
When was the last time you watered Bushy?
I love how Kate just blue screened just facially blue screened.
I was just like,
I'm watering Bushy right now.
Oh boy.
Oh God. I didn't know you worked for CNN.
What?
Fucking CNN had I think it was CNN. It was CNN or MSNBC, one of the big left-wing media joints. They had this fucking dude it was a guy who I think he was a legal analyst that they had on retainer. Yeah. And he was on a Zoom call with a bunch of other people from the network. Mm-hmm. And they all left the call. Well, not left the call. They got up from their chairs and came back, and the dude was jerking off on camera.
Yeah.
That's because they misread his title. He was actually a legal analyst.
Oh my god.
Mason in the dark, everyone. We'll be here all week. All right. So this first one, I didn't have anything queued up for today, so we're kind of just going by rote. But this one is called Solution to the Fermi Paradox Found. Scientists hope they're wrong.
Yes.
I bet you they don't actually have the solution.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet you're right, but let's find out.
Yes.
Where is alien life? Wait, is the whole thing going to be in text?
If we consider our solar system is typical of billions and billions of other similar systems, then where are all the extraterrestrials? The universe should be full of intelligent life by now that would create some kind of signal that's easy to detect. Yet we've seen
in the vast infinite space, yes.
There's one possible solution to the unnerving silence of the cosmos, and it could be the most chilling answer to why we've heard from no one. Because if an alien civilization does exist out there somewhere, they certainly know we're here, and that's something that should scare all of us.
I object to that hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with your rejection.
Yeah.
That's like that is that's a non sequitur. That's non sequitur logic. This thing exists, so it must be malicious. Like
right.
Well, even before that, it's like if I'm on one side of the world and you're on the other side of the world, even if I'm live streaming, that doesn't mean that I'm there.
Right.
You know, it's like saying we're a very noisy planet, so they obviously know that we're here. Well, no, because like the signals could take they might die out eventually. They they might lose power. They might take billions and billions of years to reach wherever they are. It's potentially infinite universe. It's just a stupid proposition.
Yeah, well, it's like what Stephen Hawking was talking about before he died. Stephen Hawking, he was talking about how he ran the math, because of course he did, and he was like, if there is any intelligent life out there, it would have to be like this certain amount of distance away from us in order for it to exist sustainably, and it being that far away, there's not necessarily any way that they would actually be able to communicate with us, or for them to have any like concrete evidence that we exist.
Well, when's the earliest we started sending out signals? What, 100 years ago?
It depends on how you define signals. Are you talking about like using human technology to actually project energy across just our planet, or out into the cosmos?
Into the cosmos.
Okay, because we didn't start doing that. I don't think we started doing that until the formation of NASA. Jesus Christ, Zach. NASA. This is what marijuana does to you kids. Don't do drugs.
I reject your hypothesis.
Caitlin, I love it when Mason just circles back to things just so eloquently. That was so smooth. Okay. So it says Mason was Mason. Jesus Christ.
Mason was formed about 28 years ago.
Mason was formed in July of 1958. A whole 64 years ago. You're old.
Holy shit. Dad was older than NASA? God. Apparently.
Yeah, so that's not that long ago. That's not that long for signals to be traveling out into a potentially infinite cosmos.
That's nothing. Yeah. Like that's a grain of sand in that's less than a grain of sand in all the beaches in all the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally nothing.
Yeah. So I mean, until Elon and Jeff or whatever get people going to Mars and shit.
Sounds like a stoner movie. Elon and Jeff go to Mars.
It does.
I'd watch that movie.
Yep.
Elon and Jeff lost in space.
Oh,
No, I got one better for you. Elon and Jeff do the solar system.
oh my gosh.
That's perfect. I love that.
Oh my god. I have got to get animation software. I have got to. There are so many cartoons that need to be made.
Are you writing that down?
Yes.
Nice. That's a cool channel logo.
You may have heard the term Fermi paradox before.
No, I
In
haven't.
its simplest form, the term asks the question, if intelligent life is common in the universe, then where is everybody?
Up my ass!
Thinking that the physicist Fermi wrote papers on the subject, and that his life work was based around finding aliens. But this couldn't be further from the truth.
Poor guy.
Enrico Fermi was a physicist.
This was just a question that he was asking after, just being on Earth for so long. He was like,
there has to be somewhere better out there. There has to be greener on the other side.
He's like, if there's supposed to be intelligent life, where is everyone?
I'm not seeing any signs of it. Poor guy spent his entire life looking for aliens. Never found them.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Oh, God. I've been here on Earth for 51 years, and I still haven't found any signs of intelligent life. Send me a sign. I'm not alone.
Sentient does not equal intelligent.
Yep. Just because it can do the talking doesn't mean that it's smart.
Qui-Gon Jinn said it best and succinctly and bestest. Just because you can talk does not mean that you are... No, excuse me. Just because you can speak does not make you intelligent.
And in the immortal words of Tim McIlrath from Rise Against, simply because you can breathe doesn't mean that you're alive or that you've really lived.
Yep, that's also facts.
Yes. Because sometimes bees breathe through their mouths.
He never really wrote much about extraterrestrials. Fermi was chatting with colleagues at a lunch in Los Alamos about a cartoon showing aliens emerging from a flying saucer carrying trash cans stolen from New York City. That's when Fermi asked, "Where is everybody?" Everyone understood he was referring to the fact that there wasn't any solid evidence of alien visits to our big blue planet. The conversation then turned to the topic of interstellar travel, where Fermi concluded interstellar flight might not be possible, might not be worth the effort, or a technological...
Scintillating dinner table conversation.
Right.
Usually I'm just talking about, what I've done that day. Not the nature of the universe.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I much prefer the latter type of conversation. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, me too, but it's not possible to do it all the time.
That's true. That's fair enough.
To invent interstellar travel. Keep in mind that Fermi was studying this in 1950, when rockets hadn't yet reached Earth's orbit. The so-called Fermi paradox,
They
which
still haven't.
Also, the Earth is flat and also still somehow hollow.
Exactly.
And Australia is just a conspiracy.
Does not actually exist.
Australia is CGI, and everyone who claims to be Australian is an actor.
Yep.
Listen, my dad fell off the edge of the earth. That's got to be the only explanation for why he hasn't contacted me in 7 years.
That's why he didn't come back from going to get cigarettes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he went to get milk off the edge of the earth.
Listen, you're both stupid. The Earth isn't flat or hollow. We live in the Matrix.
So it's
You know-
both.
Yeah, as much as you're joking, I actually kind of buy into simulation theory. I kind of makes sense to me. Like, if the technology is ever going to exist to
Mhm.
create a lifelike simulation, then there's no reason that it shouldn't have already existed, and this, is a simulation. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not saying that I believe it is. I'm just saying that makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And in fact, I personally have a little headcanon theory about the nature of this fundamental reality that we live in that is actually very similar in nature to simulation theory. And that is, I believe that the entirety of observable existence exists as a thought in God's brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that really is succinctly the whole entire thing right there. And you can unwrap that a million which ways and attack it from a million which ways as I have. You can't really put a hole in it.
It's just the whole thing is just a simulation, and it's God just trying to decide whether or not to create a universe.
Right?
Well, what will happen if I create a universe? I don't know. I'm going to create this simulation to show me what would happen.
Well, see, but that's the reason I say it's a thought in God's brain, because, any being that would be God of this universe would have a mind so complex that this entire thing, down to the movement of atoms, could be an active thought in his head. He could actively, consciously be thinking about every single detail at once, because to us, it would take something like that to be a god to us. Because humans
it's just a plot twist.
And to think about the complexity of the brain just from a human standpoint, because knowing that at least 65,000 thoughts pass through your frontal cortex in about 11 seconds, and you're only conscious of about 45 of them.
Mason said one of them.
You're only conscious of 45 of them within those 11 seconds, which is why, a lot of people feel like they're, a little overwhelmed, or, or just have a lot of white noise going on in their brain. So, I mean, if that's how complex just a normal human brain is,
right?
Imagine. But we can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You really can't imagine. The scale is something beyond human comprehension.
Yeah. It's ineffable.
Caitlin is absolutely obsessed with that word.
Well, I mean, it really encapsulates that, though. Yes, it is. Yep. Surpassing all human understanding and incapable of being put into words.
Anyways.
For example, Zach's ego.
I'm going to choose to interpret that in the classical Greek sense of the word ego, so that it is the biggest compliment anyone has ever given me.
You do that.
What did Caitlin? What did he say?
He said, "You do that." He's like, "Well, I will."
The possibility of alien civilizations, only their ability to use the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations actually misrepresents Fermi's views. Fermi didn't question the possibility of alien civilizations, only their ability to have interstellar travel. So what is the Fermi paradox if Fermi didn't create it? In 1975, an astronomer by the name of Michael Hart penned an article in which he said, "They are not here, therefore they do not exist." Hart's claim was that if smart aliens existed, they would inevitably colonize.
What?
Just that. It's another rejected hypothesis.
Yeah.
I have no money, therefore money does not exist.
Right.
Right. I get no bitches, therefore women do not exist.
I have no fucks, therefore fuck does not exist.
I have no more fucking.
Why did my head also immediately went to that song?
I tried to go fuck shopping.
But there were no fucks left to buy. I've overspent on my fuck budget. Now I'm in fucking debt.
Have you ever heard that song, Mason?
No.
Oh my god!
Oh, we'll play it after this. You'll love this, Mason. You'll love this.
Amazing.
The Milky Way. He believed that if they were anywhere, they would be here by now. But since they aren't, and we've seen no signs of aliens, it means that humans are the only intelligent life in our galaxy. And if that's the case, then looking for intelligent life elsewhere is probably a waste of time and money. But then another famous physicist named Frank Tipler came along in 1980 and elaborated on Hart's assessment and asked the big question, where would a civilization get the resources needed to colonize 1 billion stars? He came up with an interesting idea where a civilization could build an artificially intelligent machine comparable to the current human level that could replicate itself. If you sent one of these out to a neighboring star and told it to build copies of itself using local materials in that system, then you could send those copies out to another neighboring star until the galaxy would be crawling with these self-replicating machines. Tipler said that since we haven't seen any of these machines, that we're the only intelligent civilization in the galaxy. Now, we really have no idea
Arrogance
what
knows no
civilizations
bounds.
might be out there.
What was that?
I said human arrogance knows no bounds.
Truly.
I said the same thing, I just phrased it as...
Right? Yeah, it's just like, okay, so the only way that they would be able to have resources is, I don't know, through machines or whatever. Like, how does that? I don't know.
It
What?
seems like bollocks to me too.
Oh shit. Yeah, the whole thing doesn't actually hold up as far as I'm concerned. It really doesn't. Oh shit.
Oh no! What did you do, Jeremy?
God damn it! Fuck! Shit!
Oh.
Everything sucks because I'm incompetent. Ah!
What
Jeremy.
happened?
He lost the video.
No, I didn't lose the video. I just I'm having some fucking
Some serious technical difficulties.
well, see what happened was, okay.
Uh-huh.
I went to switch the profile I was in, but I accidentally signed out. But then when I signed out, it took me to the YouTube homepage where I saw a video that looked like it might be interesting. But then I'd already hit the button. By the time my eyes had seen the thumbnail of the video that looked interesting, my finger had already hit the button to come back to this video. So then I hit the button to go back forward to the YouTube homepage, but alas, the homepage had reloaded, so the video was gone. So
Yes, this is what
A
happened.
series of unfortunate events starring Zachary A. Bieber.
He's driving how high.
Yes, exactly. All right. go back to where we were here.
They would be here by now. But since they aren't, and we've seen no signs of aliens, it means that humans are the only intelligent life in our galaxy. And if that's the case, then looking for intelligent life elsewhere is probably a waste of time and money. But then another famous physicist named Frank Tipler came along in 1980 and elaborated on Hart's assessment and asked the big question, where would a civilization... Now, we really have no idea how they're carrying machines.
Because, you know, their planet would supply those things, kind of like, you know, our planet supplies us resources to carry on intelligent life and stuff like that. So, I mean...
You went very southern for a moment there, Kate.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Any of these...
their planet will give them resources.
Yeah.
Now listen here.
Listen here,
Let's
honey.
go over there to Mars and take their germs.
Take their germ.
Dirty.
Well, we all know that Mars needs women. Angry red women.
I want to fuck me some angry Martian bitches.
Yeah.
These machines that we're the only intelligent civilization in the galaxy. Now, we really have no idea how many advanced alien civilizations might be out there that could pull off such a feat, but a man by the name of Frank Drake came up with an equation that gives us a rough estimate of the number of civilizations in our galaxy that might have signals we could detect, and those civilizations could exist in the thousands. Many different solutions to the Fermi paradox have been suggested over the years. One solution to the so-called Fermi paradox might be the scariest solution of them all. It's called the Dark Forest Theory, written by Chapman.
Of course it is, yeah. I'm going to call my hypothesis the Dark Forest Theory.
What's hilarious is you gave him this dark, foreboding voice, and on screen it's a picture of just this unassuming Asian dude.
Well, I can't do an Asian accent, both for skill reasons and political reasons. So,
Okay, I'll do one for you. Oh,
No.
I call it the Dark Force Theory. It's very smart.
I hate you so much. I feel like a parent when I'm with you on stream. It's like, oh, stop it. You're embarrassing me.
He's like, no, stop.
Drag you away by the hand, giving an apologetic look to everybody, like a, oh, I'm sorry.
Listen. Am I off color sometimes? Yes. Am I a bit uncouth, perhaps even rude sometimes? Yes. Am I even possibly occasionally a little bit racist? Also, yes.
It's possibly the most chilling theory, as you'll soon find out. Imagine the universe as a vast dark forest, and us humans, along with other advanced civilizations out there, are the hunters. The hunter doesn't light a torch to draw attention to himself. To be noticed might be harmless, but on the other hand, it could bring the jaws of a hungry lion, or even worse, get the attention of another competing hunter. Now, we don't have interstellar travel yet, but as far as interstellar communication, it's possible with technologies and equipment that's already available. Lasers could easily send signals across the galaxy. Of course, there could be delays in the signal, assuming the limitations of the speed of light. But we've done a lot more than just send out some radio signals. In fact, we've done everything but be silent, from deliberately sending messages and spacecraft out into space to unintentionally sending out radio and TV signals which leak into space. The Voyager probes are already on their way out of the solar system, and if there is intelligent civilization out there, they could be intercepted. These two probes basically carry all of humanity with them. That could be a good thing, or it could be a bad thing.
Captain,
We've
I'm
more
getting
than
a signal.
the torch.
What signal is that, Lieutenant?
It seems to be signs of alien life. Look, it's magnificent. It appears to be 4 bipedal entities. They each have some sort of antenna on top of their head. One appears to be red, one appears to be blue, the other red, and one yellow. They apparently have a sun which has a face.
Oh no.
And
Wait,
some
are you saying their galactic star or their solar system star has a face, or are you saying
No.
the child has a face?
I'm saying they should all be killed with fire.
setting phasers to kill.
Right. No Teletubby invasion.
Vice Captain, I've told you.
No Teletubby invasion. No.
Why do you guys always fight? I get mixed signals here. I was setting the phasers to stun, and now I have to turn them off. When are you gonna let me kill something? Glorious leader.
Teletubbies, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Fire!
Fire will make sure
Oh
he
my
gets
God.
paid because everyone fires at him.
Fucking Teletubby violence, man. It's fucking
Yes.
great.
In the dark forest. The next question is who or what will spot our signal and come back to check it out. This should make everyone nervous. Famous science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke once said that 2 possibilities exist. Either we're alone in the universe or we're not. Both are equally terrifying. We should understand that it's impossible to know the intentions of a newly contacted civilization if one was ever found. It could be possible that some alien civilization could have studied us, seen our destructive nature, and decided it's better to leave us alone.
Fuck
We
that.
could end up wiping ourselves off.
What was that?
Fuck that.
They just look down at the planet. They're like, yo, those danger monkeys, I'm not sure about that one. And they're just like, yeah,
Just cruising on by in the ship.
dangerous monkeys.
Just cruising on by in the ship. Take a quick look out. Nope. Engage hyperdrive.
The first, oh my God, they were cruising by when we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. They're like, oh wow, they figured out nuclear science, and the first thing they did was destroy a bunch of their own people. Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here, Steve. Yeah, I got it, Greg.
The planet, let alone worrying if someone will do this to us. We could end up being lucky, and a more advanced civilization would step in to help us reach the stars and become an interplanetary species by sharing their technology with us. There might be peace on Earth after the realization of not being alone in the universe. But we need to be realistic and ask ourselves, why would another civilization do this? Another advanced civilization out there might be scared to death of what we could do to them if they were discovered. On the other hand, it might be in civilization's best interests to shoot first and ask questions later to avoid being destroyed or wiped out by another more advanced civilization.
He's just described the difference between alien race Mason and alien race Zach. I'm like on the other end of the cosmos, just like hiding away, keeping an eye on Earth. Like, oh my god, they're just constantly searching for aliens. They're gonna find us eventually, and it's gonna go so horribly wrong. And then like Zach's on the other end of the galaxy, like these motherfuckers, they need to go. Preemptive self-defense.
And it's not on opposite sides of Earth either. It's in order. So it's you looking at Earth, and then it's me looking at your planet.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's like that fucking meme where the dude is behind the other dude in the pew, and then the other dude is behind him, and then there's someone up on the balcony with a fucking sniper.
That is exactly what it's like.
Yep.
Action films like War of the Worlds. Nobody knows who would annihilate who in the first meeting. It's pretty much a given that if a civilization has discovered interstellar travel, their weapons technology is likely far more advanced than anything we have here on Earth.
Not
That's what
necessarily.
the Dark Forest theory is, that it's possible all other civilizations out there in the cosmos have chosen to remain silent for fear of being destroyed. But the scariest thing about this remains, and there's nothing we can do about it now. We've just been too noisy. It could be that there are many different extraterrestrials.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's why that paradox doesn't hold up. Any other civilization with intelligent life would most likely have gone through a similar path of technological evolution to ours.
Yeah.
Probably not identical. Their planet has different resources. They have different brains, all that, all that kind of crap. But their technology would evolve. And literally everything creates some kind of energy signal that will escape the planet.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what you base your technology on, whether you make your electricity with coal or nuclear, or perhaps some biochemical reaction that's possible because of a unique organism your planet has, whatever your fucking source of power is, you're eventually going to create signals that go to outer space. Like, you just can't have technology. You just can't have an entire planet of advanced civilization that's silent. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
Well, unless you've advanced to the point where you know how to mask the signals that you're putting out.
To do something like that, you would have to have something. You would either have to be able to alter your atmosphere so that signals couldn't escape it, or now this is actually a theory. It's extremely unlikely because of the raw numbers of it, but it is possible that every planet out there in the universe that has intelligent life also has a unique atmosphere that prevents any kind of signal from escaping it.
True.
To be honest, like the fact that he's like, oh well, if they've mastered interstellar travel, then their weapons technology would far outstrip ours. And I'm like, yeah, but you're putting like human thinking to them, like
Right.
The scientists need to like have world builders working with them, because it's like,
Yes.
Right.
someone needs to step in and be like, yeah, but you're like not taking into account like culture and stuff like that, because like
Right.
Yeah.
they could be explorers that are pacifists. They might not even have like an aggression. They might not
Right.
even have aggression in their makeup. You know what I mean? It might just be like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they're a species of sentient plants. And so they photosynthesize. So there's literally never been any need for an aggression instinct in their species because there's no scarcity of resources. They eat the sun. So they never had to fight for resources, and therefore they have no aggression instinct. Exactly. Mason's
and
100%
therefore haven't
right.
created weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their only defense would be they'd be toxic to plants, to insects on their world and shit, that you couldn't eat them. That'd be their only defense.
And even if in the hypothetical situation that they had something that could be used as a weapon, they might not even have thought of that.
Yeah.
Like imagine giving somebody like a human who has no aggression instinct, you give them a fork, they're not going to think, well, I could stab somebody in the eye with that.
Right.
They're just going to be like, oh, it's a fork. You use it to eat things with.
Right.
And that's a human with no aggression instinct. Humans are capable of aggression. You put that same kind of logical experiment to a species that literally has no aggression instinct, never had a need for it. They might even, I would go so far to say, as it's possible that such a hypothetical species would not even understand the concept of violence.
Yeah.
Like a human set them on fire and they might think it was a genuine mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they just wouldn't even be able to grasp the concept of somebody doing something for the sake of violence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See, scientists need world builders.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, because and you literally can't punch a hole in that. You could say, well, it's highly unlikely a plant species would ever be sentient. Okay, fine. Let's say it's a fucking animal-based, a vertebrate species or an insect species. And again, their planet is just so abundant in natural resources that that their species was pretty much isolated from any form of violence because everything on their planet just ate plants.
Mhm.
You could do it a million which fucking ways. Maybe their species evolved to be like the most unkillable thing on their planet, so they just have no aggression instinct.
Yeah.
Or perhaps this species has an aggression instinct, but they've evolved so far in their technology that they're like, yeah, we can travel past the speed of light and we can defend ourselves from against literally anything. We have no need for weapons. If they attack us, we're just going to walk away. Because any sufficiently advanced civilization would know that that was the logical thing to do. Like, we're so advanced, we don't even have to fight. Let's just leave.
Or it could even be an honor system. Like,
Right.
They could be fully aware of what violence and aggression is, but think that it's like disgusting to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the whole logical argument that a lot of these scientist dudes are making, it's like, dude, you are so arrogant and hubristic that you are completely incapable of imagining any life would be different than you. And that's pathetic.
Yeah.
Out there that know we exist. But the reason we don't know about them yet is because they haven't been transmitting signals like we've been doing from Earth. An intelligent civilization out there that's discovered Earth might not see us as a threat to them, since we haven't reached a technological level for interstellar space travel. But they could be waiting for that moment. They could be waiting to see if we will continue to be a peaceful race, or if our planet will just become uninhabitable to all life anyway. However, it would be really tough for another advanced civilization to stop accidentally sending out radio signals into space like we do, unless they're more advanced and use another form of communication that we cannot see, hear, or understand. And that brings us to another possibility as to why we don't see or hear anything from space. Maybe there really isn't anyone out there. That's pretty hard to believe, since there are as many as 40 billion Earth-sized planets in habitable zones. But despite the fact that the universe may be teeming with hospitable planets, there's no guarantee they'll stay that way long enough for life to evolve. According to a recent study from Australian National University, wet, rocky planets like Earth are very unstable when they're first formed. If any kind of alien life hopes to evolve and thrive on a Terran planet, there's a very limited window of just a few 100 million years to get everything moving. Think about our own planet and what it's been through. From a ball of lava being pummeled by asteroids to a freezing ball of ice and then back again. The chances for life to succeed on an initially wet, rocky planet in the habitable zone is extremely difficult. It's not that life might be rare or hard to get started in the universe, but the habitable environments aren't stable during the first billion years. Of course, thanks to our Earth, here we are.
Granted, the whole evolution thing is actually a thing, and someone didn't just decide to manifest some kind of, sentient beings on there already.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that play around with all of the statements that are being made here, and intelligent design is certainly a factor that no sane, reasonable person would ignore, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The argument that it's I just love the atheist argument that if God exists, where is he? I don't know. If evolution exists, why are you still so stupid? It's like, dude, just because you can't, it's like that argument is literally like, I can't see it, so it doesn't exist.
Right.
And that just doesn't make sense on its face.
It's like, have you ever seen $1 million?
Neither the scientific explanation or the religious explanation makes sense in my head. Of like the universe itself just doesn't make any sense, because like Well, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me because it's like, it got started somehow, and like, yeah, okay, you give me the Big Bang, but what the fuck caused the Big Bang? But then,
Right.
like, you tell me God created the universe, and I'm like, well, where was God then before the universe was a thing? Like, where did he exist?
Well, I mean, so on that one, that's a little bit easier to answer than the Big Bang, in my opinion. In my opinion, because in the idea that God created the universe, that would mean God creates in some space beyond our understanding that is not part of the universe, or perhaps he created the universe and then left the space he was in to exist within our own universe. All of that is possible. Whereas the Big Bang, you tell me that all of this shit, you telling me everything in the universe was in a space that was like the size of the end of my finger. And you also tell me that matter cannot be created or destroyed, and same with energy, cannot be created or destroyed. So where exactly did everything in the universe come from? If matter can't be created or destroyed, then why is anything here?
And both ways make more sense to me. Like, if it's just, if a religious person said to me, God created this universe, then I'd be like, yeah, okay, I can see that. If there's a multiverse and God is just some being from another universe where there's these big, powerful, omnipotent sort of entities, and he just created this universe, and I can probably accept that. And if the Big Bang was caused by some outside force of, like another universe smashing into us, or just, whatever. So yeah, I think both make more sense if there's a multiverse going on. But even then, it gets taken down to the logical level. It started somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and see, that's one of those things that I'm going to be asking God when I die. I personally believe that some version of what I just said, where God was someplace else and then created this universe and came into it, or at least watches over it from where he was before he created this universe, I believe that some version of that is true. And I don't believe that this is material reality that we see and inhabit is the only vein of reality that exists. I don't believe that by any stretch. So, I do believe me. The start of everything is something that I've been dying to ask for a very long time, and I still have to wait at least another 50 years.
Honestly, science and the universe it makes my brain hurt. Did I tell you the other day I was watching a video where Neil deGrasse Tyson was explaining, I think to Joe Rogan, that there are different levels of infinity.
Okay.
Well, I can't explain it because it's Neil deGrasse Tyson. The dude, like, his brain is just wired completely differently. But he was just basically, he was saying that there are different levels of infinity because there are different number systems, and those number systems go on further. Like, so I can't remember what the systems he named were, so I'm just going to make them up, right? So he said we use counting numbers, and that stretches on to counting number infinity. But then you've got tetra numbers, and tetra infinity is bigger than counting number infinity, and so on and so forth. And it just blew my mind because it was just like, well then why tell us that infinity is endless? Because it's not, clearly. If
go ahead.
It's not. It's clearly not. If one infinity could be bigger than the other, then infinity isn't endless.
Right.
By definition.
Right, exactly. And I think what you've just done, Mason, is prove that you're smarter than Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh no, don't say that.
Well, I'm being half facetious, half serious. Because look, Neil deGrasse Tyson is not as smart as a lot of people think he is. He has said some incredibly stupid things that are disprovable on their face.
Yeah.
And, like, he has been debunked and beyond logical, beyond logically, a counter argument has been made to something he said that was beyond reproach, as far as I care to think about it.
Yeah.
Or as far as I can see, that's a better way of saying that. And it was made by a meat brand's Twitter account. So it was just the PR guy of whatever meat brand that was. I can't remember the name of it. And he just commented on a fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson tweet and ripped the dude to shreds. And it's like, damn, this fucking super smart physicist dude just got ripped apart by a meat brand's PR dude. And it's like, yeah, he's not. Is he a physicist that has, the brains to be a physicist? Yes. Is he some infallible, powerhouse of universal knowledge? No, he gets a lot of stuff wrong.
Is he smarter than me? Absolutely.
I'm not sure about that one. I'm really not sure about that one.
Well, then you're stupid, because I am a very simple-minded man.
Simple doesn't mean stupid necessarily, my friend.
Good point.
We know from our own discoveries that the universe is a deadly place. All it takes is a supernova, a gamma-ray burst, a solar flare, or a huge asteroid to wipe out life on a planet. We know some of those things have happened right here on Earth. It might be difficult to deal with the fact that we're the only intelligent life in the Milky Way, or perhaps the entire universe. Perhaps after all these billions of years, other civilizations have come and are now long gone, and maybe we're the last ones left in the universe. As for the Fermi paradox, there really isn't one. We can't say that aliens exist or not, because no one knows if travel between star systems is possible in the first place. There was a lot of excitement when the Central Intelligence Agency declassified thousands of UFO documents. In some of those 3 million documents, there was not enough evidence to identify objects caught on aircraft instruments. Maybe extraterrestrials are here now, and we just don't know about them. Regardless of whether we have or haven't been visited by extraterrestrials in our galaxy, UFO experts say that humanity is closer than ever to finding the existence of alien life. With all the telescopes we have searching, we're bound to find something. So what do you think? Do you think we'll find evidence of life out there sometime soon? And should we keep looking for aliens? Sound off in the comments. And make sure to stay tuned here on all the amazing things happening in our universe by subscribing. Thanks for watching.
What was that, Mason?
I don't think we'll find it anytime soon, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Possibly.
I am of the mind that I kind of think we will. Maybe not necessarily soon, but soon in the sense of it's not going to take us like another 1,000 years. I personally do believe there's alien life, and I think that as we get more and more technologically advanced, the likelihood we find it is only increasing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's different levels of soon.
Varying degrees of soon.
Yes. Do I think that we'll find them soon in the relative sense of within my lifetime? No. Do I think that we'll find them soon within the relative lifetime of humanity? Probably. I don't know. It depends how long we fucking live, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends how long it takes for us to wipe each other out.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun way of saying that.
Oh, man. You were going to look up No More Fucks to Give.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that he has not uploaded a fucking like a studio version of this. This has 11 million views.
There is a studio version of this. It was right under the one you just clicked Uh-huh.
Zach, are you going blind?
Listen, man. Ooh, there's an electric time. Okay, Mason. Apparently there's an electric time bomb remix. So, do you want the classic No More Fucks or do you want the remix first?
Let's go with the classic first.
Okay,
I like how my voice went then.
all right. It was very classic English storyteller.
It was said that one of the Tokes must have taken a fairy wife.
I'm not seeing it, Kate.
It was right there.
It was
Okay,
right
well-
there.
Inside your butt.
I tried, and I tried even more. I cried, and I can't recall what for. I pressed, I pushed, I yelled, and begged in hopes of some success. But the inevitable
Sounds like me having a poo.
What?
Sounds like me having a poo.
That's more than I needed to know about your bathroom rituals.
And begged in hopes of some success. But the inevitable fact is that it never will impress. I've no more fucks to give. My fucks have run dry. I've tried to go fuck shopping, but there's no fucks left to buy. I've no more fucks to give. The more fucks I've tried to get. I'm over my fuck budget and I'm now in fucking debt.
He's very proper for what the words that he's saying.
Yeah.
I strive to get everything done. I played by all the rules, but I very rarely won. I've smiled, I've charmed, I would have laughed, alas, to no avail. I'd run round like a moron to unequivocally fail.
So I would make this. You know what would make this even better?
What?
If it was a barbershop quartet.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that would be great.
Amazing.
I've tried.
That'd be amazing.
No more fucks to give. My fuck fuse has just blown. I've been hunting for my fucks all day, but they've upped and fucked off home. I've no more fucks to give. My fuck rations are depleted. I've rallied my fuck army, but it's been fucking defeated. Not been worth the time or the expense. I've exhausted all my energy for minimal recompense. The complete form of acknowledgement has now begun to go, and I've come to realize that I don't give a fuck. My fucks are thrown away. My fucks are now so fucked off they refuse to fucking stay. I've gone insane. They've come back round and passed me while they're fucking off again. I don't know what fucks to give. My fucks have all dissolved. I plan many projects, but my fucks won't be involved. I know what fucks to give. My fucks have all been spent. They fucked up from the building and I don't know where they went. I've no more fucks to give.
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 No more fucks. I know more fucks. I know
No more fucks to give.
Yep. There's times I've been like, yep, this is my theme song this week.
Yeah.
Oh,
I miss
man.
singing. The only time I sing now is when I wash the dishes.
Oh, man.
What a boring adult thing to say. Speaking of boring adult shit, my tumble dryer broke yesterday.
Oh no!
I had to buy a new one.
Oh.
Gotta love being boring and grown up. Oh, I've got to spend money on a tumble dryer.
Right.
Like, oh man.
Oh,
Mhm.
Lord.
It was either the thermostat or the element that had gone, which I only know because my stepdad is an engineer, and he said that the thermostat on the model was like obsolete, and if it was the element, it was going to cost us 78 quid to fix. And I was like, well, fuck that, because the dryer itself, if I buy a new one, is only like double that price, and the fucking machine is so old that if we spend 78 quid and it breaks in 2 weeks because it's old, then I'm going to be really mad. So we bought a new one.
Man. We're gonna watch the remix.
Were we gonna watch?
remix?
Were we?
I was unaware that I was unaware that that was a thing.
I don't know.
I mean, you asked if we wanted.
Yeah,
to
you
listen.
did ask which one I wanted first, which implies that there will be a second.
Okay. Listen. Yeah.
I had my withering response ready for that then, if you were going to argue with me. You're a man of language. Don't you argue with me on this.
But I got something better for you.
The paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
It's like post-rock.
Right?
I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murder scum.
And now it's like Bon Iver.
Oh, what?
It's like Bon Iver.
I have no idea what that is.
Come on, skinny love to spend the year.
Nope.
Huh? Okay.
Baby's alive. He's selling that body part. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under us. Green looking skin. And they run around screaming, we love Satan. We want to eat baby.
Oh God, I can't get over how much it reminds me of Bon Iver.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking
Skinny love.
Yeah, it popped right up. All right, we'll watch that after.
Yep.
I have them on video.
I have them on video.
On video.
Represent the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. Imagine how bad she smells, man. Obama and Hillary both like so.
You know what? Comedy musicians are brilliant because they're people that have realized, obviously some of them are, but like they're people that have realized, okay, I'm not talented enough that I'm ever going to make smash hits just, by myself. But if I utilize my humor and lean into the fact that I'm not the best.
Yeah.
Right.
And I love that. I just think it's brilliant.
Yeah. And it is a whole thing in and of itself. And what you need to know, Mason, right now is, for context, this isn't lyrics that this musician wrote. These are all things Alex Jones has said.
Yes. Of course it is. Yeah.
Like, as the song is going, they're literally playing clips of Alex Jones saying these things.
like he's lip syncing it.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they just have the clip from the show where he said the thing that's being said, and the footage just slowed down to match the rhythm of the song.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's great.
literal vampire pot and the goblins hobbling round coming after us. My skin gets close to that evil and I feel it go. Self-centered crap. We don't even notice and itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall.
What?
We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and every police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Oh my god.
He worked out he was watching Fox News.
I guess so. But I want to. Oh my god. That's
they did it.
okay. And
I hope they do that. Isn't this just the plot of Stepford Wives? Hey, shut up.
right. All right. So, hey, Kate, is that going to be the first one you put on the board?
What?
Is that the thing you just said that you hope is in the video? Is that going to be the first one you put on the board?
Yes.
I hope so. So,
Yes.
but before any of that, this was in the recommended from that last video. It says, I don't know this channel. The channel is Nick Let's Go. And it just says familiar song in parentheses, Helmo's song.
Oh no. Oh my god. This is an improvement.
Every night when I'm alone in bed, I pray it's just the neighbor's kids, but I should probably check. They were singing a familiar song I remember from when I was young.
Oh dear.
Calling like a siren from the fiery depths of the unknown. La 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 la, la 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 la. This is the song. Elmo told me there's a distant land.
Okay, for context, Mason, this dude just walked into his garage, and there's a dude in an Elmo costume with teeth like it from it. And it has blood dripping out of its mouth.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Where monsters walk the streets of men, where children sing the ABCs and you will be eternally born. I said, Elmo, please get out of my shed. I said, I won't leave without you, my friend. So I wrap my hands around his neck and squeeze.
Oh my god.
I don't believe you. Those la 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 las make me think of Tobuscus.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
do you know the Minecraft song from Tobuscus?
No, do you know his dramatic song?
I think I'm aware of it. I don't know if I've heard it. We'll look at those two.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude. Elmo is now a fucking SCP, Caitlin.
Holy shit! Well, I've always thought he was an SCP of some kind.
Is Veldus one? That's the question.
Yes.
That was simple. I love the immediate simplicity of your answer there. Just yes.
Yep. La 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 Elmo's world.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Okay. Bon Iver. This is probably going to get our channel nuked. The stream nuked. Oh well.
We don't have to listen to the whole thing. Just enough for you to see why I was saying.
$43 million views. God damn.
It's been used in a lot of things.
Come on, skinny love, just let's see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I see it. I see it.
That's all you needed.
Oh man.
All right. So this is Don't Worry, Darlene pitch meeting.
Good
You're
lord.
familiar with pitch meeting, right, Mason?
No.
Oh, this is great.
We've played
Okay.
pitch meeting on here before.
We might have. I don't know. Either way. So,
We definitely have. We definitely have. I was just fucking with it.
why do I keep falling for that?
I don't know.
I mean,
I need to stop though because it's gonna get to the boy who cried wolf.
I mean, not if I keep forgetting because I'm high when you do it.
Come on, skinny love, just last the year. I'm gonna have that in my head all day now.
Yep.
Luckily, my day's almost over, so it won't be.
That's literally what was I about to say. I was literally in the process of saying it.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. And my favorite thing about the movie is that it feels like a movie. Oh. I mean, yeah, that's great. It feels like a real, go to the theater film movie. All right. Okay.
Harry Styles literally said that.
I know. I love how he's opening the thing with a fucking quote from Harry Styles about the movie.
Yeah, it feels like a real movie. Like
in all fairness, I get the context of what he's saying, though. In today's age, with the convenience of streaming movies direct, like it takes something special to make me be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the theater and watch this.
Yeah, I understand
But
the context,
it's
and I
also not
understand
something that you should
it.
say about your own.
Well, it's not even just that you shouldn't say it about your own. It's that, I mean, it's fine if you have that opinion about the piece of movie, of the piece of movie. Jesus Christ, the piece of cinema. Like, my brain reached for two separate things and mashed them. It was like, do I say piece of cinema or just shorten it to movie? Hey, fuck it, both.
Podcast us. You were like, no. You were like, too late.
Sorry, sir. We already assembled it, and it's already off the assembly line. What?
Sorry, boss, we're understaffed today.
No, but yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with having that opinion about a movie you're in. My thing is, he sounded so stupid because of the way he said it. Like, you have got to be, like, the fact that he couldn't find a more articulate and like, intelligent way to express that idea. It's like, how dumb are you? Like,
Yeah.
are your songs the extent of your vocabulary?
Yeah, like he could have said, "It feels like a piece of event cinema."
He could have said like it feels like a movie that you go to the theater and actually have a cinematic experience. He could have said it feels like one of those movies where you go into it and you sit down and you come out feeling a certain kind of way. He could have said it's one of those movies that you think about for a while afterwards because there's so many open ends to it and so many different aspects you can look at it from. He could have said it's one of those movies that you go to the theater to see twice because you just didn't quite get it all the first time and you want to make sure you didn't miss anything. He could have said so many things. Instead, he said it feels like a movie, like a real go to the theater film movie. Like, Jesus.
I was talking to someone about The Bleeding Ground the other day, and they described it as a dark horror fantasy romance western thriller. And I was like, yeah, fair dues.
I shit you not, when I was still querying the Garden of Lies, I didn't know how to describe it when it came to like describing the genre and everything, because it's like, well, all right, it's an epic fantasy, sci-fi, action adventure, romance with elements of psychological thriller and psychological horror in it. Oh, and also comedy.
Yeah, mine doesn't have so much comedy.
Yeah, that's true. But, hey, listen, we can't all be geniuses at writing comedy.
Oh, I could write comedy. It just doesn't work for Bleeding Ground.
That was obviously me being a smart ass because you write way more comedy than I do.
Fair point.
Come on, man, keep up.
that was just my humbleness kicking in there. Like, oh yeah, well he's obviously saying that I'm not that good at writing humor.
No, I would never say that. Mason, look, we each have our talents. I'm comfortable admitting you're better at writing comedy than me. I could never sit down and write out something like talk to. I just couldn't do it. Well, I won't say couldn't. I won't say couldn't. It would take me a lot more time and effort than it seems to take you.
Yeah, I'm at an inspirational dry spell with that at the minute, but it's one of those things where it doesn't need to be, I don't need to be pumping it out constantly. In fact, it overexposes it if I do. So,
yeah, I agree. I think like one every 2 weeks would be plenty.
Go watch something on the big screen? Sure, yeah, okay, good. So, hopefully that's how people describe this. Yeah, I mean, that's the basic description of what we're looking for, I guess. So what happens in this thing? Right, so this takes place in this 1950s looking town called Victory, right? And we're going to follow this housewife named Alice. Okay. And all these housewives have husbands that take off to work every day on something called the Victory Project, run by this guy, Frank. But everything is not as it seems. Whoa, you sure about that? Because usually everything is as it seems. That's how everything usually is. Yes, not in this case, not everything is as it seems.
It's like they all go to the
Yeah, it's
club.
about to get real mysterious in here, sir. Like once in a while, they're
Wrong movie.
What, Caitlin?
I said, oh wait, they all go to the club called the Institute. Oh wait, wrong movie.
There's these big earthquakes that make everything shake. That is very mysterious. I guess we'll find out what those are about later, huh? No. Oh, but so then Alice starts.
Wow. I knew he was going to say no.
I know. It's the way as soon as he was like, I'm sure we're going to find out what those are about later, I was like, oh, we don't get any payoff for that. Okay. God, that pissed me off.
No.
No, not at all.
Stuff we
no,
he goes out into this desert that the house.
No, not at all. We never get a payoff for that, and I need you to just get all the way off my back about it. Very well, Chad.
What did you just say to me, Chad?
I said I need you to get all the way off my back.
Right. Would you like a pay raise, Chad?
I have a strange feeling that there's something behind that. Yeah.
Bob, I'm not sure how to answer that question because the last guy that you said you were going to send on vacation never came back.
No, I never said I would send you on vacation. I said, do you want a pay rise? Chad, you stood up to me for once in your spineless little life. And I'm finding myself respecting you slightly more.
Wow, boss. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Oh my
god.
It made me do a Jimmy Carr.
Oh, nice.
That's why aren't allowed to go into, and she touches a building and wakes up back home.
Oh, very strange.
And she sees this weird plane crash and a window closes in on her. Jeez, what's going on with all that? Don't worry about it. And this other housewife's being forced to medication because she keeps saying nothing is real.
What does the medication do?
Don't worry about that either. I want to know. I'm a little worried about it. Well, stop it. And then Alice randomly wraps her own head in plastic wrap, and that other housewife seemingly dies, but not really. Okay, yeah, sure, that's a lot of weird.
Right now.
Yeah. Oh my god!
What,
She
Caitlin?
even stole that part?
What, the plastic wrap thing?
No, the she seemingly dies but not really thing, because
Oh my God.
there's literally a whole scene even in both versions where this woman supposedly strokes out, and in the second version there's electrical sparks and shit, and Joanna is made to believe that she was just seeing stuff and that it didn't really happen like that, and that it was just really hot outside and everybody was dehydrated.
In what movie is this?
Stepford Wives.
That is not what I assumed Stepford Wives would be.
Well, because
the whole premise of Stepford Wives is that all the wives in the neighborhood except for one of them are robots, right?
No, I had no idea.
In the first version, they were all basically body snatched robot aliens.
Right.
And then in the second version, it was this this lady who was super, super smart, and she lost her mind because she loved her husband so much. And when she came in and found he cheated on her, she accidentally killed him and the person that, he was in bed with, and then was like, oh no, and then created an AI out of him and pretended like he was this big alpha male dude that came in and set up this community where all the men were ruling over the women and stuff. And so she made all the women have these weird AI chips in their brains to make them more subjective, so that, she could keep up this whole...
Caitlin, you mean more suggestive?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
More subjective. You mean she made them intangible?
Right. Yeah. I was going too fast and the other word slipped in there. But yeah, basically so she could build up this whole fantasy world of kind of like a 1950s, television show, basically, where,
Right.
they were
That
all
was the Stepford Wives remake.
That was the Stepford Wives remake. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it definitely sounds like she pretty much just ripped off the
she
Stepford
just
Wives remake.
ripped off the whole thing. Even the dinner clip scene that they have, it's pretty much beat for beat.
Okay, let's finish this thing though.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
God damn it.
Play!
I'd heard of Stepford Wives, but I'd never heard of what it was. So I just always assumed it was like a Jane Austen sort of thing.
Oh no, it was a 1970s horror classic,
Sci-fi horror, yeah.
sci-fi horror, and then it was made into a comedy sci-fi horror, which by Frank Oz, which was brilliant.
Right. Okay.
Randomly wraps her own head in plastic wrap, and that other housewife seemingly dies, but not really. Okay, yeah, sure, that's a lot of weird stuff. And so I guess Alice is going to start to piece together what this is all about as the weird things happen. Not really, no, just kind of a string of weird occurrences for about 90 minutes or so, with little to no explanation or information revealed. Oh, okay. And then suddenly a bunch of information's going to drop with like a third of the movie left. Oh, okay, great. So what do we find out? Well, sir, it turns out the whole town is a freaking simulation. It's like the Matrix. Exactly, except with like 10,000 times less kung fu. But still a little kung fu. You know what? No kung fu at all, actually. But I did think we could have a 5-minute scene of Harry Styles dancing like a puppet. Oh, well, that's just as good. Okay, yeah, sweet. So we're going to find out that Alice's husband, Jack, in the real world is unemployed, and he's been kind of radicalized by that guy, Frank. Oh, he has? Yeah, through like podcasts and internet forums, he's been made to hate being a loser while his wife earns money, and he wants that traditional life of, the wife stays at home and cooks and cleans. So he's got Alice like permanently strapped to their bed with these simulation goggles on her face, so she like lives in the simulation now. Permanently? Do people in the real world not wonder where she went? No, they don't, I guess. She didn't have like an important job or anything. Not really. She's a surgeon. That's people would notice her missing. I'm pretty sure. And so during the day, her husband Jack and all the other husbands,
and then you stockbrokers and pilots.
Caitlin, what?
I said, yeah, let me guess. She was a major surgeon. And then you have one that was like a big time stockbroker person. And then, let me guess, you also have one who was a molecular physicist. I could probably watch the movie and pick apart the entire list of all of their occupations.
Into the real world to earn money to be able to pay for this whole thing. Wait, so Jack's not unemployed anymore? Yeah, sure, okay. What's his job? Unclear, don't worry about it. So he like puts drops in Alice's eyes because they're pried open all the time because of these simulation goggles. So when he's out in the real world every day, does he also have to like change her diapers and exercise her legs so she doesn't get
Pried
musty?
open because of the... I'm outraged by that. Oh yes, because we all know that VR makes you fucking keep your eyes open. I'm apoplectic right now. I can't even talk.
Well, and not only that, it's just
Yeah, no, I guess he'd have to do all that stuff too, wouldn't he? How is this better than the life he was living? I don't really know about that, but this is what's happening, so I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about it. So anyway, the bad guys do like electroshock therapy on Alice, which shows her all these revelations, but then also makes them forget them immediately. So her memory gets wiped. Man, it's going to be hard for her to piece it all back together and escape. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, she just kind of remembers it all anyway, right away. Oh, so what was the point of doing the electroshock? I don't know. And so then she kills her husband in self-defense. Oh, my God. And then her neighbor shows up like, hey, guess what? If men die in here, they die out in the real world. So you've got to escape now. Men die, but not women. Yeah,
Sorry,
maybe.
what?
I don't know. And the neighbor is also...
when men die in the simulation. Oh wow, Olivia Wilde, you really suck at this.
Yes.
How? If they're not in the simulation,
right? Yeah.
I can practically hear the aneurysm, Caitlin.
Yes. It's like, oh, see,
face turning purple.
It's like, she could have written a good script had she been a more competent plagiarist.
It's like, bro, if you're gonna copy my homework,
woman.
What?
Oh my God, yes.
Scathing old woman.
I can only imagine how biting her comments are going to be after she's had another like 20, 30 years of experience.
Especially putting up with you.
Oh, God.
No.
Yeah. I'm going to make a bitter old crone out of Caitlin yet. Just you wait.
I can just picture the two of you at the dinner table, and your son's just brought back his girlfriend to introduce you for the first time, or I can just imagine that whole. She could have written a good script if she'd been a more competent plagiarist. I can just hear Kate just delivering that line to like his like to her son about his girlfriend. So what did you think of my girlfriend's script? Well, well, she said as she raised the scotch glass to her lips.
Yeah, I could totally see it, and it's her son, so she'd be like trying to soften the blow, unless she really hated the girl that he had brought home. Then she'd have been like, "Son, you're dating a stupid bitch." She would say it with Caitlin tact, so it'd be like, "Son, that girl you're dating is insufficient to rise to the occasion of satisfying your needs."
Son, your girlfriend is a Scarlet Woman.
God damn it.
So, like, I knew this was a simulation the whole time, but it's the only way for me to be with my kids who died in the real world. So I'm like, I've been on board. Oh, so she's in there loving her kids. That's kind of sweet and tragic. Actually, your character spends the whole movie drinking excessively and complaining about motherhood. Ow. And then Frank, the guy who organized this whole place, his wife is going to stab and kill him.
Why did she do that?
Well, she's like, it's my turn now.
What does that mean, though?
It means the movie's almost over and we got to get rid of Frank somehow.
I guess that makes sense.
So then Alice is driving away in the desert, but there are two cars chasing her and one coming at her head first.
Uh-oh, car chase.
Yeah, and so she kind of brakes and swerves, and all three cars crash into each other. Oh, this is a cartoon. I thought it was live action for some reason. No, it's not a cartoon.
Oh, cartoon car chases are tight.
Does the Roadrunner show up? It doesn't. No, it's a very serious scene.
No, it's not. No, there's no way.
No, it is, though. So then Alice manages to get to this portal and escape the simulation. If it's all a simulation, will there be some safeguards to prevent wives from escaping, like a passcode or literal guards?
Aha, no.
Oh, okay, and so I guess now we're going to get some answers to all that weird stuff that was happening. No.
What?
No, the movie's all done now. We're going to show the title, and it's done.
But what was all that stuff that took up most of the movie?
Stuff. And what happens now? Doesn't she just wake up strapped to a bed next to her dead husband's body? Yeah, probably, but we're all done now.
I just feel like I still have so many questions.
Well, that's a good thing, wouldn't you say? Now people have something to talk about online.
Oh, you think people are going to talk about the
Various unanswered questions of this movie on the internet?
Oh, heck yes, sir.
That's going to be the main thing they talk about online in regards to this movie. Well, great.
And Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine what we know and biggest theories.
Oh my god. Okay, if she wakes up, strapped to a bed, like next to her dead husband or whatever, how long, first of all, has she been there? Is a good question. Because that's going to depend on whether or not her muscles have atrophied.
Right. Literally, she could be there unless her phone is in reach. She could literally wake up on that bed and just die of starvation because she's incapable of getting help.
Right. Yeah.
That's what would happen if I was writing it.
It's like okay.
I have a friend that hates me for writing The Bleeding Ground. He's like, just stop it. Because he hates Veldus.
Oh.
He's like, why can't you write anything nice, Mason?
Has he read Taxi?
Yeah, I said that to him, and he said, yeah, but even the guy in the back seat is going to the hospital.
He's just nitpicking.
Yeah.
I will tell you, man, you do write some poetry where it's just like, man, that's sad. Like Days Gone By, man.
Yeah.
God, I always come back to that when I think about your work, because it's right next to the bleeding ground for me, honestly. I just love that so much.
Yeah. I was like, no, pull that thought right back. In my head, it's quite possibly related to the bleeding ground. So,
oh God, yes! I've always had a hunch that it could be. Ah, yes!
not necessarily confirmed, because I've not necessarily decided in my own head if it is or not. But it was definitely on my mind when I was writing it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would make that yeah. I tell you, if it was my shit, it would be.
Well, it would be a long time before current events.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
All right, so you remember Critical Drinker? Have I shown you Critical Drinker, Mason?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is from Critical Drinker. She-Hulk. This is rock bottom.
Oh boy.
Congratulations, Galadriel. You've defeated everyone, as always. Well done. You can go home now.
I am grateful you have not known evil as I have. But you have not seen what I've seen.
I've seen my share.
You have not seen what I have seen.
It's like these lines were written by a professional screenwriter, people.
Right. And here's the thing. The lines themselves aren't the problem, okay? If that conversation roughly, it could almost be verbatim. If that same conversation took place between two characters that were developed and fleshed out and were in current circumstances that made the situation that serious and dire, the lines themselves wouldn't be bad. It's that they didn't put any of the setup into those lines that needed to be there to make them land. None of the setup was there.
Yeah, like if Evander was like, "You haven't seen what I've seen."
Yeah,
right.
We know what Evander's seen.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I haven't gone back to Rings of Power. I've only watched the first 2 episodes. I just haven't felt any inclination to go back.
Oh boy.
I will eventually.
It gets worse from there.
It only gets worse. Yeah, me and Caitlin have gone back. I think we're at episode 5.
We're on episode 5, yeah.
And honestly, bro, like next Wednesday, honestly, like maybe you. Oh my god! Well, hang on, you're not even going to be here next Wednesday, are you?
No, I think I will be next Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay. I doubt. The problem is, I doubt you'll have time to catch up on all. Well, it's only a few episodes.
Yeah, I might be able to catch up with you. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Because what I was going to say is, we could totally just go. We could do Wednesday on Twitch next Wednesday, and we could just watch one of the episodes together.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad.
Well, yeah.
Well, the only thing
as long as you were willing to watch it with audio description on.
I was about to say, like, so you would have to tell me, is it like a setting? I would imagine it would be like you just go down to the settings of the video.
I'm pretty sure. I'll ask Lee.
Okay. Yeah, because I think it would be hilarious for all of us to just sit down with a drink or two in our hands and just rip that shit to pieces.
Man, because it's what they've done to Isildur's character, man. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's a travesty.
Yeah. And not just Isildur. The black elf dude.
Yeah.
It's like he is.
They've given him.
He's supposed to be a secondary protagonist, and he has all the enthusiasm of a potato-shaped rock.
Yes. Or, a rock-shaped potato.
or a rock shape. Caitlin, why do I put up with you?
I thought it was because you love me, Jeremy.
I do love you, Jeremy.
Oh. Lee, can you pass me a bucket?
Jesus wept. Where do I even begin with this? I know I've shat on Marvel's TV shows in the past for basically being a never-ending race to the bottom, chewing up popular characters and tarnishing the legacy of previous movies in a desperate effort to launch next product or push the message, or just keep the content sludge pipe flowing at full capacity. Plus, but as bad as they were, there was at least some semblance of quality control, some attempt to tell a coherent story. It was rarely a good story and definitely not worth your time, but you at least felt like there was some kind of point to the show. But She-Hulk is a different beast.
Lee just come running in. She's like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I just heard you calling for a bucket." I was like, "No, sorry, I was just kidding." I didn't think you'd hear me. She was like, "Oh, I come running in because when do you ask for a bucket unless you're gonna throw up?"
Yeah.
Basic elements of a story with which to grapple, whose cast of one-dimensional caricatures lurches and meanders from one pointless episode to another with absolutely no sense of where they're going or why, while desperately trying to push jokes that are about as funny as a fucking cancer diagnosis. It's a show that's written in the space of a single afternoon.
This
what?
man's commentary.
Right.
He doesn't do it for me. I don't know why. It's got nothing to do with like the things he's saying. I just don't. His vibe just doesn't click with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting to me. That's interesting because he's from your neck of the woods.
I mean, relatively speaking, yeah. I don't think Scottish people would be too happy about you saying that.
Yeah.
Listen, Scotland is not the same thing as England.
That's
prick.
true. That's true.
Listen to me, laddie. If you wanted that to be true, you should have fought harder with Wallace.
Well, I'm not taking any advice from an Irishman, so...
That didn't sound Irish at all!
He fucking did, bro! It didn't sound Irish at all, mate, no.
Okay, you fucking asshole.
You made someone who would like this? Hello.
Give me a right trick.
Scotland, Wales, Ireland, what's the difference? They all had Celts.
Except, you know.
By a creative team, and I use the word creative to describe these people in the same way I'd use the words faithful adaptation to describe Rings of Power, that couldn't quite believe that they'd actually been given the gig. And having watched it myself, I can't fucking believe it either. And because I want to get this shit over with as quickly as possible, allow me to outline the plot. And believe me, this isn't going to take long because barely anything happens in this fucking show. The story, such as it is, picks up with Jennifer Walters, a successful attorney. And that's basically all I can tell you about her, because that's all there really is to her life and personality. She's a lawyer, and she really likes her job. And that's it. But when she's out driving one day with her cousin Bruce Banner, who somehow managed to turn himself back into Mark Ruffalo so the rest of the plot could happen, she gets involved in a car wreck because she wasn't paying attention to the roads. Take that, unfair stereotypes that women are bad at driving. And while pulling him out of the wreck, some of Bruce's blood fuses with her own, thus turning her into a female version of the Hulk. A She-Hulk, if you will. Naturally, this presents quite the problem, because randomly turning into an unstoppable rage-fueled monster could put everyone around her at risk, which means she's going to have to learn to be extremely cautious and develop absolute self-control.
You serious?
I wish, I'm just kidding. That's completely slightly different and far better TV show. In She-Hulk's case, it's more like a light switch that she can turn on and off whenever she wants, with no repercussions, resource costs, or danger to herself. And she also remains fully lucid and in control of herself while she's in Hulk form. Well, that's lucky. It's almost like the writers now have complete creative freedom to do whatever they want with absolutely no constraints or limitations. Anyway, it's not long before she's forced to reveal her powers when this ridiculous arsehole bursts into her courtroom for absolutely no reason. Mind-blowing editing there, guys. The incident causes Jen to lose her...
That is that is some top tier bullshit.
Yeah. Also, I would like to point out the fact that the version of the show that is on Hulu now, or is it on Hulu? I don't remember. But the version that's out now was an emergency refilm because the first one was so bad.
They just don't have to try though anymore, do they? Because when you have a monopoly on the market like they do,
yeah,
why bother trying? People are going to buy your shit. They're going to watch your shows. They're going to go see your movies.
Right?
Why even bother?
Well, only so long, and that's what we're beginning to see. People really are beginning to not go to and not watch this shit. I mean, the Rings of Power views are absolutely in the gutter.
Yeah.
And so people are starting to say, you know what? No, fuck you. You can't just churn out garbage and expect me to eat it. I demand McDonald's or higher.
At least you've got a low bar.
Oh, man.
Job, but that's okay because literally 5 minutes later she's been hired by a different firm who want her to represent superheroes and villains as the She-Hulk. Well, don't you love how actions and decisions have serious long-term repercussions for the protagonist and those around them? Spider-Man could only dream of such quality character developments. Jennifer's job now is to represent people with superpowers in various court cases that showcase the writer's complete ignorance of the American legal system while navigating the trials and tribulations of dating as a famous green monster lady, thus showcasing the writer's complete ignorance of men, modern culture, and normal interaction between humans. Honestly, it's genuinely hard to know where to even begin when it comes to critiquing this show, because pretty much every single aspect of it is so irredeemably awful that it's practically a waste of time trying to sift through it. I mean, I guess we might as well start by judging a book by its cover, which in this case means the visuals. Now, anyone with functioning optic nerves doesn't need me to tell them that She-Hulk is a visual nightmare.
What, Mason? Are you triggered by that?
Yes. Very. Optic nerves, bastard.
Like, right there, I just pictured Mason hulking out, but he's still blind even as the Hulk.
Oh, dear.
I'm so glad it's almost 10 o'clock.
Oh.
Oh man, it really is 2 fucking minutes.
Yeah, it's okay. We can finish this. It won't go too long. But yeah, that's the next one. So we've got the Hulk, She-Hulk, something else Hulk, Blind Hulk.
Well, we got Hulk, She-Hulk, Gay Hulk, Blind Hulk, Wheelchair Hulk, Black Hulk.
Hey man, give me Wheelchair Hulk. That'd be awesome.
Right?
I'm only like 5% kidding with that, to be honest.
Hulk, but his legs don't work.
They don't need to because his wheelchair has awesome gadgets.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro!
With him being Hulk, his arms
are strong enough to support him, so he walks on his hands.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's literally what I was thinking. Like, if you were Hulk and your legs just didn't work anymore and were never going to work again for some reason, which is against the premise of the Hulk as healing factor. But anyways,
Right.
so I would just have my legs taken off like at mid thigh so I could walk on my hands, and I'd learn like fucking like capoeira. Like,
yes.
Like hand-based capoeira.
I know you guys would hate it because it'd be super woke, but I would love like a disabled Avengers. I think that'd be mint.
I don't know about a full crew of disabled Avengers, but I have no problem with superheroes that are blind or superheroes that are deaf. In fact, in certain cases where like it makes sense with their character or it works nicely into their character arc, I think a lot of those types of characters are actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's like the integrity of how it's integrated into the story makes like logical sense.
Right.
Then yeah, I mean,
you know Jeremy from CinemaSins?
Yes.
He has a series that's called The Ables, and I think that is like disabled superheroes, I think. And I listened to the sample for it, and the sample was being narrated by the blind character, and because I was like, I was so close to buying it because I was like, okay, Jeremy's like a cool guy. This could be a cool book. So I listened to the sample. It's being narrated by a blind guy, and it fucking the dude says like something about, I can't remember the exact phrase, but it was something about like, I haven't had that much of an interest in life. I haven't been able to do much because I'm blind. And I was like, okay, never mind. I'm not buying this.
Yeah.
The CG is the kind of awkward, jerky, badly animated trash that I'd expect from a low-budget superhero show from the mid-2000s. Jen moves and walks with all the grace and fluidity of an NPC from a PlayStation 2 game, to the point where I kept expecting her to get stuck in doorways and start glitching out. And it's even worse when she actually half the time her mouth doesn't even match up with the dialogue that she's saying.
Your Honor, I believe this information to be incredibly relevant given the nature of the complaint.
How the fuck could this come from the same studio who made stuff like Thanos? And what's truly mind-boggling is that they actually had a 6'7" model to act as a reference point for the animators, which begs the rather obvious question, why the fuck didn't they just paint her green and save themselves a shit ton of money? The writing is another massive steaming turd that absolutely has to be addressed. The overarching plot is, well, basically non-existent. Each episode feels like it was conceived by getting a group of 9-year-olds to write a bunch of single-sentence ideas onto a board and then throwing darts at them to see which ones came up. The board, I mean, not the 9-year-olds. That sort of thing doesn't end well. Believe that.
We got a bleeder!
What the fuck? You can't just go throwing darts at 9-year-olds, man. You'll put their eyes out.
Well, yeah, that's what happened to me.
Shoot your eye out.
That was a bad PE lesson.
Oh my god.
Jen tries out a dating app. Jen goes dress shopping. Jen goes to a wedding. Jen gets ghosted by her boyfriend. Jen meets a new man. It's like fucking party time here, mate. Most episodes barely manage to scrape past the 20-minute mark, and even then it feels like there isn't enough plot to sustain them. I mean, don't get me wrong, they also feel like they're about 2 hours long, but that's just my own perception of time getting dilated by this shittiness. Whatever nonsense is going on either serves as a vague backdrop to Jen's personal issue of the week, or as a catalyst for some tedious new drama in her life. Wow, it's almost like the writers totally don't understand or care about superheroes, or the law, or constructing action sequences, or character development, and really just want to write a breezy comedy about a modern professional woman trying to negotiate a man's world. Which is all a bit of a problem when your show's entire premise is built around your protagonist being a superpowered lawyer. While we're talking
Right.
about Jen, though, I suppose I should mention that she's probably one of the least interesting, least intelligent, and least likable protagonists I've ever seen on TV. Well, aside from the obvious, of course. Bored, shallow, condescending, narcissistic, patronizing, boring, and aggressive. And that's before she even turns into She-Hulk. I've already talked about the ridiculous, unhinged rant she goes on against Bruce, a man that's lost and sacrificed more than she'll ever have.
I'm an expert in controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
Raw feminism.
It's like, you know, because Bruce hasn't been through anything, you know, seriously traumatic or, you know.
Not only that, it's like, bitch, you're literally getting angry having a conversation with him.
Right.
You're not controlling your anger at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she delivered that line in a calm, deliberate manner, that would have been a lot more effective. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the writers of this show just have absolutely no idea like how to write. It's actually like painful.
And this kind of shitty behaviour pretty much sets the tone for her entire character. She gets to do and say whatever she wants with almost no negative consequences. In fact, if anything, she seems to get rewarded for it. And if that's not an insight into the mindset of the writers, I don't know what is. For me, the hallmark of a good, well-rounded character is someone that you can picture in situations outside the scope of the story. For example, I can totally imagine what guys like Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, and Peter Parker might get up to in their spare time. But outside of working and drinking with her one and only friend, I genuinely can't picture what Jennifer Walters might do with her life. What are her interests, her hobbies, her personal history, her aspirations, her hopes, fears, dreams, and insecurities? Don't know, because the writers don't seem to know or care either. She's basically just an avatar for them to project all of their gripes and hang-ups onto. And it's a shame, really, because I think Tatiana Maslany is a pretty good actress, and I actually ended up feeling kind of sorry for her. You can tell that she's working her arse off trying to sell this shitty character to the audience, but all it really does is prove that you can't polish turds. Tim Roth kind of don't give a fuck.
Factually incorrect.
Yes, we are all aware of the Mythbusters episode. Okay, so don't you actually me, Mason.
Oh, yeah. And it's like you see stuff like this and you're like, I really hope she's getting paid well for this.
I just feel sorry for the writers because in this sort of situation, I'm just like, oh my god, imagine if he was talking about bleeding ground. I would be devastated.
Well, I don't feel sorry for these writers because they know damn well what they're doing and they're fucking doing it terrible anyway.
Yeah.
So no, they are the ones committing the crimes and they need all the stuff thrown at them.
The admonishment, yeah. I agree with Kate. It's like, I don't buy for a second that these writers actually want to produce something that's good art. Yeah. I believe that they care first and foremost about their talking points, and they are just so ham-handed and unskilled that they cannot put their talking points in a story and still have the story be good.
They're all like, Mr. Whiskers said it was okay.
My kitty cat liked it.
Kitty cat liked it.
He stood still the entire time I read the script to him.
He's such a good boy.
You drugged him with a fuck ton of catnip. That's not relevant.
He's been sharing the wine box with you. He's drunk. It does not count.
With Tigger, it depends on how hungry he is on the scale of how much he listens to me. If he's hungry, he is attentive as fuck. If he's not hungry, he's like, no, go away. I'm not interested in what you have to say right now.
I like how
bleeding ground.
I absolutely love how the cat's voice is the same as the cannibal in the addict's voice.
Yeah, but at first when he first moved in, I said I can't do that voice anymore. At first, when Tiggs moved in, his voice it was just like the proper version, but then because he's a cat, it needed that little bit more, it needed to be a bit smaller and a little bit more,
and it needed a meow. And
it needed a mule. Yeah, it needed some muling underneath it.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh God, it feels dirty in my ears.
I don't know why you have to be like that. It's just my voice, you imbecile. And then when he gets mad, then his voice is like this.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you haven't given me a treat in at least 5 minutes. Give me a treat now.
I love how this guy is a fucking character. He's a fucking cartoon villain from a DreamWorks movie.
The only reason he came back was a hefty paycheck, and I couldn't help but wonder, why did they choose this guy out of all the backstory characters they had available? Remember Emil Blonsky from that mediocre Hulk movie from like 13 years ago? Nah, neither do I particularly, but he's back, and now he looks and acts like a completely different character. I was also about to say that the show disrespects Wong by turning him into a goofy, clueless moron with a room temperature IQ, but let's be honest here, Multiverse of Madness already did that pretty effectively, so I guess I can't criticize She-Hulk for beating a dead horse. Honestly, Benedict Wong, you deserve far better than this. But the one that really saddens me the most is Charlie Cox's Daredevil. Don't get me wrong, out of all the flaccid, meek, brain-dead excuses for male characters in this show, he's probably the one that gets humiliated the least, and his brief court scene only serves to underline how absolutely incompetent Jen is as a lawyer.
I'm dismissing this case.
Am I gonna go to jail?
No, but I would like you to.
But man, the fact he's even in this show is like some weird taint on his character now. The fact that he went from this...
Daredevil was so fucking good.
God, it really was.
Oh,
yeah, it really was. Vincent D'Onofrio in that show is amazing.
It's something we'll never
he was
from our memory, or how much toilet talk we drink. Believe me, I know. And the thing is, all of this stuff, the unlikable characters, the nonsensical storytelling, the laughable special effects, would be more or less tolerable if this show managed to deliver the one thing it desperately wants to sell itself on. Comedy. But that's where She-Hulk really falls on its gigantic green arse because, well, how can I put this? It makes Amy Schumer look like Dave Chappelle.
Oh my God.
I am not Makarov. That would make the two of us fighting pretty cliche.
Another incompetent plagiarist.
Yes.
God, Amy Schumer. It's like, yes, we get it. You're a whore. And?
Right.
Well, I've seen like a 20-minute compilation of like jokes that she's just ripped off.
Well, yeah, that too. It's either I stole this joke or it's a joke about how much of a slut I am.
Right.
That's what we get out of Amy Schumer. It's like this stopped being funny after the first 10 minutes of your first comedy routine. Like your entire career is built up on this thing that's not funny and hasn't been for a very long time. It's actually pathetic.
Yeah.
How long's left of this video then?
3 minutes.
Okay.
I just did 600. I'm not even a superhero. Hey, did somebody take our order?
Long as can I get for you? We could talk about The Sopranos.
Fine, no spoilers.
Honestly, if your goal is to break the negative stereotype that women aren't funny, then this show really isn't doing your cause any favours. And of course, there's only ever one target for the jokes in She-Hulk. Almost without fail, the men in this show are portrayed as incompetent, overbearing, patronising, dumb, cowardly, weak, insecure, and comically misogynistic.
There's a hot chick over there. I'm gonna go talk to it.
Basically just a
Jesus
bunch of convenient
Christ.
straw men for Jen to knock down with.
Wow.
I mean, those guys.
Wow. They do exist, but okay. The number of men alive who would say that to She-Hulk while she is in She-Hulk form, the number of guys that would do that is like truly like 1 in 10 million. Like there are so many guys with those kinds of balls to be openly and overtly misogynistic in front of a woman who could literally crush you like an ant. Those men just don't exist.
Right.
Like, not in mass. The odds, like, no.
Like,
and especially, you're gonna tell me that a little fucking pencil neck lawyer has those kind of gonads on him? No.
No. That guy, I mean, unless he was asking to have a suicide done on him.
Right.
No.
Suicide by Hulk.
Right. He's like, you know what? I decided that I don't want to live the rest of today. So I'm going to say this thing to her. Yeah.
Right.
Then when he walked away and she didn't kill him, he was like, oh.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. He's like,
damn it, I was sure that would work.
Oh my god, that's a great idea for like a little mini short thing, like just like someone desperately trying to get like a crazy superhero to kill them, but like failing every time. I'm sure that was going to be the thing.
Oh my god, that just makes me instantly think of the Joker and Batman. It's like the Joker is constantly coming up with more and more evil shit. He's like, this'll be the time. This'll be the time I get Batman to kill me. And Batman just never kills him.
Right.
Go on.
And really, I think... what was
on.
that, Mason?
Nothing. Go on.
No, what?
I said, come on, then let's finish this video, but you had something to say then, so...
Oh. Well, I was just going to say, like, I genuinely feel like that is the entirety of their relationship. But anyways.
Definitely, yeah.
Absolutely no effort. The writers seem to view men as either corrupt and arrogant egomaniacs undeserving of the success they have, or unthreatening, submissive whipping boys who do exactly what they're told and know better than to question their female overlords. And I don't know, man, beneath all the smiles and the lame jokes, there's this weird undertone of spiteful bitterness and hatred to She-Hulk. But hey, it's also kind of funny once you realise you're basically seeing the writer's own personal hang-ups and insecurities projected right onto the screen in front of you. Why don't my co-workers respect me for being given a job that I didn't earn? Why do guys think it's okay to flirt with me at a bar? But also, why am I still single and staring down the barrel of middle age? Why do people question my judgment even though I'm plainly terrible at my job? Why do men not like me for who I am instead of how I look, even though I desperately want to look better? Why are my family putting pressure on me to settle down when I just want to party and pretend like I'm still in my mid-20s? Why is there nothing of substance or value in my entire life outside of work and drinking? Why can't I just do and say whatever I want?
Wait, drinking has substance or value?
It's like, I thought that was why.
No, drinking is a substance.
Yes.
With absolutely no consequences.
Drinking is a substance of value. Alcohol is quite expensive.
They're all issues that I can safely label as rich liberal women problems. It's the kind of petty, mundane, and mostly self-inflicted irritations that people like Hollywood writers obsess over because it's the closest thing to adversity they've ever experienced. So naturally, they think everyone else can relate to it too, because the idea of anyone existing outside of their carefully protected socioeconomic Southern Californian bubble is some crazy mind-bending impossibility for them. Yeah, I'm sure a working-class teenager from Hicksville, Virginia, working a minimum wage job is totally going to empathize with the online dating woes of a rich, narcissistic 30-something lawyer. All of this stuff adds up to a gigantic pile of green shit. Without doubt, the worst TV show Marvel has ever put out, and a complete waste of time, money, and life. And the thing is, who even really cares at this point? Marvel certainly doesn't. I'm sure it's going to
He
get
cared enough to make a whole video about it.
Well, this is how he makes his living, Mason. The guy's a YouTuber.
at Lolcow for the past couple of months and a complete embarrassment, and I'm sure that She-Hulk will probably end up appearing in future movies too. In which case, well, they're welcome to her. But if you value your sanity, or just the couple of hours of your life that it'll take you to fight your way through this, then you'll stay as far away from She-Hulk as you possibly can. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
It's like, yeah. Because your time and your brain cells are valuable. And, you know, if you spend them on that, you're not going to get them back.
Yep. That's facts.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, Mason has got to get going here. So we're gonna dip on. I know, Caitlin. So we're gonna dip on out. I'm all cast in shadows because of the natural lighting right there.
Yeah.
I am the villain.
Nobody disputes that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alrighty. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the adventure.
Welcome to the adventure.
Yeah.